Hey, fifth graders. These are the notes for multiplying a three-digit by a two-digit number. And it seems like a lot, and it's a lot of words, yeah, but really, basically, what you're looking for is a few very important steps, right? Step one is multiply the ones place, okay? And you'll see this in an example, so if you don't get it right now, it's fine. Feel free to pause the video and get the notes. It's good to have these, especially if you start getting confused about what to do. These steps are really good for that. Step two is add Bob, which he's over here. So hi, Bob. Step three, multiply the numbers in the tens place. And step four, add both partial products to get your final answer. Okay, those are kind of the long version of the steps. Once you see them in action, and once you understand how to do the steps on your own, really this gets pretty easy. So let's go to the next slide and take a look at some of these in action. Oh, before we do that, this one is done for you, just a model. On the next slide, I'll show you the steps as I do it. It'll be a little bit easier. But what you see here that I'm circling or squaring off in green is kind of like the finished product of what it would look like when you're complete. Okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here we have our first example problem, 547 multiplied or times 18. Now, when you see the words multiply 3 by 2, I'm talking about the digits, right? There's three digits on top. Let's move this over here. There's 3 digits on top. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 digits on the bottom. So that's all that means when you see that is 3 digits by 2 digits. So we're going to look at our steps here, and this should make a lot more sense now that we are actually doing a problem along with the steps, okay? So step one, which is here, it says, zoom in a little bit, line up the numbers by place value, which they are. This is the ones. These are the ones place, so we're lined up by the ones. That's good. And then it says, multiply the ones place on the bottom number by all the numbers on top. So this is the ones place on the bottom number, and I'm going to multiply by all the numbers on the top. And it says right to left, so I'm starting over here with the 7, and I'm going all the way across to the 5. So what does that look like? Well, let's do it real quick. 8 times 7 is 56, regroup there. And then 8 times 4 is 32. And then we add 5 because we have 5 up here. So it's 37, regroup the 3, bring the 7 down. And then we have 8 times 5, which is 40, plus 3 is 43. So this is my first partial product, right? This is part of the answer. I'm not done yet. That's only step one. I've multiplied across, starting with the 7. And then I multiplied times the 4. Then I multiplied times the 5. Now, any numbers that were regrouped, I added them as I went across. Okay, so that's my first answer. Now I got to keep going because step 2. And step 2 says, here we go, add Bob under the ones place of your product. Yeah, so Bob's a cool dude. His name is Bob. Here he is. Say hi, Bob. And he has a job to do. His job is to hold this place value. Since we've already multiplied by the ones, we don't have to multiply by the ones again. So we're holding that place value with Bob there, and goes right into step 3, which explains why Bob is there. Because now we're multiplying the number in the tens place, which in this case, let me erase some of this mumbo jumbo so you can see a little bit better. So in this case, now that we're done with the ones place, we're going to multiply to the tens. Multiply in the tens place on the bottom number to all the numbers on top. So here is the tens place, and we're going to multiply that the same way we did with the 8 in the ones place. We're going to multiply by all 3 numbers on top, going right to left, just like we did. So let's start that now. 1 multiplied by 7, 1 times 7, 7. 1 times 4, 4. And then 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, so I've already gone to the first 3 steps. Now I can go to the last step, which is step 4. And that tells me that I need to add both partial products to get your final answer. Okay, these are the partial products. I'll put a star next to them. Let's do a different color. These are my partial products. There's one and there's one. Because they're part of the answer. In order to get the entire answer, I have to add, step 4, add them together. So let's move this down a little bit. There. Okay, so we start just like adding a normal problem. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 7 is 14. Regroup the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus 4 is 8. And then last I have 4 plus 5 is 9. And now I have my final answer of 9,846. So you see, it is a lot of steps, but once you understand them and you start practicing them, it becomes very easy to remember what to do next. And we'll do some more practice problems now. Okay? Hang on. All right, boys and girls, if you want to follow along, this is on page 107 of your book, page 107, and we're going to be working on number 7 right now. So if you want to follow along, that's where that is. Okay, let's move this out of the way, and we'll go with number 7, which is 451, and we're going to multiply that times 10. Okay, and I'll show you a couple of ways to do this one, because zeros in multiplication can be kind of easy. That's kind of fun too. So we're going to follow the rules that we've set on the last slide. Step 1, we're going to take these numbers in the ones place. Oops, let's go different. Let's go blue. The number in the ones place, and we're going to multiply by everything on top, starting at the right, going to the left, right? So 0 times 1, 0. 0 times 5, 0. 0 times 4, 0. Anytime you multiply anything by 0, the answer is always 0. But guess who's going to be here? Another 0. But this guy, he's got a name. His name is Bob, and he has a job. And his job is to hold the place value for the ones place, since we're finished with that ones place. Now we have a number in the tens place. So let's look at that one. In the tens place, we have a 1. So we have to multiply that 1 multiplied by 1, which is 1. 1 multiplied by 5, which is 5. And then 1 multiplied by 4, which is 4. Man, this looks like a crazy mess up there. But I want you to see the steps, so that's why it's important, and I'm writing on that scribble scrabble. And we'll do a couple of ones that maybe aren't so messy, but I just want you to see that that's kind of the way it works. So that would be step 3. Step 4, we add them together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. 5 plus 0 is 5. And then 4 is nothing there. So the answer is 4,510. Pretty easy, right? Let's go into another one. Okay, this is also on page 107. So if you want to follow along, this is on page 107. And this will be number 8 on page 107. Let's start with this color here. So we have 892, and we're going to multiply that by 18. Okay, so remember the steps. Step 1 is we multiply by the ones place, so we're multiplying 8 times everything on top. So first one we do is 8 times 2, we regroup, which is 16. Then we do 8 times 9, which is 72, add 1, that becomes 73. And then we do 8 times 8, which is 64, plus 7, would be 71. Then we have Bob. Where you at, Bob? Here I am. It's Bob. He's got a job to do. Hi, Bob. So let's go to the next place value. We're done. We're done with the 8 in the ones place. We can get rid of that. Now we're on the ones. The tens place, which happens to be a 1. So now we can multiply 1 times 2, which is 2. 1 times 9, which is 9, and then 1 times 8, which is 8. Last step, we add them all together. 6 plus 0, 6, 3 plus 2, 5, 1 plus 9 is 10. Regroup the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Well, we got a big number here. Don't forget our thousands comma, which will go here. So our answer is 16,056. Should we do another one? Yeah, I think we should do one more. All right, guys, let's take a look at number 20 on the same page, page 107. So this is page 107, and this is number 20. And it says for number 20, 439. I'm going to multiply that times 22. Okay, same steps are going to apply. We'll go through, I'll try to circle this, excuse me, in different colors. So we're going to multiply everything in the ones place, which is here, the 2, by the top number. So 2 times 9 is 18, regroup the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. No regrouping there. And the last 2 times 4 is 8. Oh yeah, guess who's here? Bob. And he has a job to do. Let's hold that. Looks like it says bold. Hold that place value for us, Bob. Bob, there. Thanks, Bob. So now we can go to the next place value is the tens. You know what, let's make that a different color. Let's go blue. So now we'll do the tens. Okay, we're done with the 2. Well, the 2 in the 1 spot. Now we're in the 2 in the 10 spot. So we start the same way. Multiply 2 times 9. That's 18. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1. We already did that one from the last one. 7. And then 2 times 4 is 8. And if you notice, since we multiplied both of the 1s and the 10s were 2, the number 878 is actually the same on the top and bottom, right? Only difference is on the bottom row, Bob's here. So now we have our 2 partial products, and then we can find our actual answer by adding. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7 plus 8 is 15. Regroup the 1. 7 plus 8 is 15. Plus the 1 up here, 16. Regroup. 1 plus 8 is 9. Here's my thousands, comma. There's my thousands, comma. So my answer is 9,658. Not too bad. Seems pretty easy. So we'll do one word problem, and then we're done. Okay, guys, so here's our word problem for the day. This is on page 108. Let's see if I can write this up here. This is on page 108. 8, and it's number 23. Oh, it says right there, number 23. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Which is the total number of heartbeats in 1 hour for a dog and a rabbit? So we're looking for total. Oops. Let's get rid of that. Let's make this bigger so we can work on here. What is the total number of heartbeats in 1 hour for a dog and a rabbit? So I know I'm going to have 2 numbers here. I need the total for a dog and the total for a rabbit. And off to the side here is my little chart that tells me which one is which. And this guy gives me a hint right here. He says, remember, there are 60 minutes in an hour. Yeah, I knew that, but thanks for the reminder. Appreciate it. So the total number of heartbeats in 1 hour, or 60 minutes, for a dog. So we have a dog, and we have a rabbit. Let's do the dog first. So the heartbeats per minute is 100. So there's 100, and that's per minute, and there's 60 minutes in an hour, so we'll multiply that times 60. It's a lot of zeros. I could use my estimating trick here, right? I mean, I could solve it, and I will solve it to show you. But let me just show you the way we did it earlier. Let's scroll down here a little bit. So if I have 100 times 60, I can follow that strategy I used on the last lesson, which is circle the non-zeros. 1 times 6 is 6, and then 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. So yeah, 6,000, right? I mean, that's one way to do it. Let's just use this method and see if we get the same answer. 0 times 0, 0. So I'm starting in the 1 spot. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 again is 0. And 0 times 1 is 0. Well, guess what? Bob has a lot of friends today. Hey, Bob, do your job. So he's going to hold that place. So now we have the 6's. So we have 6, and we're going to multiply everything on the top. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 1, 6. Now we can add. And we can see that for the dog, we have 0, 0, 0, 6. And there's my comma, thousands comma. So 6,000. What does that 6,000 represent? Heartbeats. It says right here, heartbeats. Oops, I just covered it up. Heartbeats. So we're looking at heartbeats in 1 hour. So a dog has 6,000 heartbeats. Okay, now let's take a look at the rabbit. Scoot over. It says here the rabbit has 212 per minute. So I know that I'm going to have to do 212 and multiply that times 60 because it's 60 minutes in an hour. Okay? So I'm going to follow my rules. Rule number 1, or step number 1, is I'm going to take the ones place and multiply it by everything on top. 0 times 2, 0 times 1, and 0 times 6, which are all going to be 0, right? Because anything times 0 is 0. Then we got to call our buddy, Bob, lowercase Bob this time, and he's going to hold that place for us since we're done with the ones, and we're going to move on to the tens. So let's do 6 times 2, regroup, that's 12. 6 times 1 plus the 1 regrouped is 7. And then 6 times 2, which is also 12. And it looks like Bob's gigging our way over here. Sorry, Bob. You gotta go. You gotta go, Bob. Erase. Maybe not. Nothing's erasing. There you go. Get out of here, Bob. At least your name for now. Okay, so now we can add those bad boys together. 0 plus 0, 0 plus 2, 0 plus 7. 2 comes straight down, and the 1 comes straight down. My commas here. So I have 12,720 heartbeats for the rabbit. So now I have 2 answers. I have the dog heartbeats, and I have the rabbit heartbeats. So now I have to combine those because it does say for a dog and a rabbit. So let's move everything down. And just to make things easy for me, I'm going to put my top number as the biggest number. 12,720. And I'm going to add to that my 6,000 for the dog. My commas are getting more and more terrible. I apologize for that. And I just add straight down. Easy. 0 plus 0. 2 plus 0. 7 plus 0. Bring down my decimal. 6 plus 2. And just bring the 1 down. Actually, that's not a decimal. That's a comma. See, that's why my commas need to be nicer. So then I have 18,720. 18,720 combined for dog and rabbit heartbeats. Is that answer here? Yes, it is. It's right here. C. 18,720. And my answer sentence that I would write would say, take the question, which is the total number of heartbeats in 1 hour for a dog and a rabbit. So I would change that to an answer statement up here, and I would say the total number of heartbeats I feel like my writing is getting sloppier. Maybe I should work on that. Maybe I need a new stylus. Put that on my wish list. New stylus. The total number of heartbeats. You know what? Let's do this. How about this? I got an idea. So you don't have to look at Mr. B's ugly writing. We're going to do this right here, right now. Well, I guess we'll make a different color, huh? There. The total number of heartbeats. The total number of heartbeats in 1 hour of a dog and a rabbit. The total number of heartbeats in 1 hour of a dog and a rabbit is, and then our answer, which is 18,720. And in a period, not a colon. Perfect. Great job, guys. And that is how you do that word problem. Notice there was a couple steps there, right? Most of the word problems we see are going to have more than one step, so make sure you're looking out for those hidden steps. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.